First National Bank, sir. It was robbed. Over $100,000 was stolen and a watchman was killed. Lieutenant Gary just got...
Gallegher, so help me.
The gospel, sir.
Brownie.
Yeah?
Get next door to the bank and see what's up.
Rushing right off, Chief.
If I find...
Over $100,000 was taken?
That's right.
And a guard was killed?
That's right.
Sorry. Oh, you.
How was that lead?
Hot stuff. The bank just called in a Winkleton detective.
A Winkleton detective?
The biggest crime story of the year. We'll beat the town with this one, kid.
You hang around here picking up copy, we won't.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know there's $1,000 reward out for hate?
That's a lot of money. If the chap earned that, he wouldn't have to sneak into fights anymore, would he?
Might as well forget it. By this time, he skipped the country.
I bet you're still right here in the city.
Go on.
And why is the Winkleton detective still in town?
That's a shrewd deduction, Brownie.
Hayes got a finger missing. He'd be a cinch to spot.
Not if he was wearing gloves, he wouldn't.
That's crazy. He's well known around here, finger or no finger. I'd spot his face anywhere.
But not if he was disguised.
Stop dreaming.
And being a fashionable gentleman, he was most likely disguise himself as a tough, right?
No, wrong.
Wrong.
Toughs don't wear gloves. It's the first thing Hayes would have thought of. How to hide that missing finger. And to do that, he'd have to dress himself like a gentleman. That's the only way he could wear gloves and get away with it.
You mean stuff his glove finger with cotton or something?
Yeah. And the first time he takes those gloves off in public, he's a goner, and he knows it. Boy, I'm sure gonna be on the lookout. I can just picture the whole thing right now. A gent with his finger sticking out like this. Why, I'm gonna walk up to him real friendly like a bunk of ours. I'm gonna shake his hand. And if I feel that finger ain't real flesh, but just wadded cotton, well, I'm gonna hang on to him, and I'm gonna yell like a dickens. I'm gonna say, cops! Get the cops! I got me a kill. Mr. Crawley. You were saying, sir?
I understand you come from a very large family, Gallegher.
Yes, sir. Besides Mom and Pop, I got 9 brothers and sisters.
Uh-huh. Then if something dreadful should happen to you, your mother wouldn't miss you very much, would she?
No, sir.
If you don't mind, Mr. Dwyer, tomorrow's edition would appreciate a column of your deathless prose. Brownie, if I have to tell you once more to finish that yarn, so help me. Now hear this. All you amateur detectives, if any one of you gets arrested for assaulting an innocent citizen...
Discrimination. Naturally, a police officer must have contact with the underworld. How else can he do his job?
Rephrase your question, Counselor. Be more specific.
How's it going?
Making them sweat.
Captain, now would you be kind enough to tell the court the name of the bank?
$1,300.56.
I submit them as evidence and ask they be marked $, and all have been deposited by the defendant since he became chief.
This court is recessed until 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Here, rush it. You can still make the afternoon deadline.
How would you like to bust this case wide open? I just got a hot lead from Dan the Dip.
Dan the who?
Dip, pickpocket. Used to live on our street.
What's he got?
The name of the guy who's framing the chief. What'd they put Detective Fergus on for?
A friendly witness.
That's good, huh? Him and the captain been friends for years.
What's this about a frame?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Take your foot.
This pickpocket, he reliable?
Pickpockets get around. Could be he heard something.
I shall not take the court's valuable time by detailing that record here with its contents.
How much will it cost?
$100.
$100? $100?
cheap. Get it from petty cash.
Listen, petty cash is Crowley. They don't come any pettier.
Tell me, Lieutenant.
Where can I find this guy?
I'll take you.
Oh, no, you don't. You stay out of this.
How? I'm in more than you are.
Listen, kid, one of these days you're gonna wangle your way into one story too many.
You done with that copy yet? Crowley's waiting.
Give me another minute, will you? Boy, you're getting as bad as Crowley himself.
Gallegher, you win, kid. Where do we meet the dip?
Be in front of the office at 10 o'clock. I'll be there with a cab. And don't forget the $100. Market, driver.
This better be worth it.
Did you raise the money?
Just barely. Oh, it's surprising how few friends a fella has when he wants some money.
Pull up here, driver. That's him.
Stay here.
Oh, Brownie.
I said stay here.
When those guns go off, and this poor guy goes down, I don't stick around to ask questions. I leave.
And left Gallegher?
In the cab. And the cab took off just about when I did.
Well, that happened over an hour ago. Where you been all the time?
Lying low.
Lying low. What's that, a new saloon?
All right, so I had a quick one for my nerves. You know, those gunmen were shooting at me, too, you know.
You dumb clock. What kind of a reporter are you? Our readers expect to know all the facts. Who, what, where, when. How dare you come back here empty-handed with nothing to show except your miserable little life?
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Shut up! What I want to know is what happened to Gallegher between the time he called me to hold the run and now. That's what I want to know.
He was leaving the building when I came in.
Yeah?
He was with a man.
How long ago was that?
A little while ago.
I'm telling you, that kid's going to be the death of me yet. I'll give him 5 more minutes, or so help me, he's fired, and this time I mean it. Well, don't stand there like an idiot. If you're too cowardly to get at the facts, then give me something clever.
Clever?
Do I have to get out this entire paper by myself? All right, if I must, I must. Here's your angle. Take this down. Mystery gunman shoot mystery victim in mystery midnight killing.
It was midnight.
This is a mystery. All mysteries happen at midnight. All right, you take it from there and make it good, or comes the dawn, you'll be out on the street with Gallegher.
Anything's possible, of course, but it's highly improbable he'd come this far east.
Why? If things got too hot for you in Oklahoma, wouldn't you leave?
Naturally, but I'd go on farther west, to the lawless territories.
That's where everybody thinks he'll go. So he plays it smart and he goes the other way. Here.
He could be right, you know. Remember that embezzler? How everybody thought he left the country, but Gallegher figured he was still in town. And he was.
That's right, remember?
I admit you bet close to 1,000 when it comes to hunches, but this time you're wrong.
Never bet against the percentage, Mr. Dwyer. Anytime our Gallagher's right about something, that's...
Time, sir. This one's even too wild and wicked for even you to be reading. So, for the good of everyone on the paper, Mr. Crowley, I have seen the light. You'll never catch me reading that trash again.
Well, this is amazing. It's little short of miraculous. Why should I doubt your honesty? As a matter of fact, here's a quarter bonus for you.
I cannot, sir, accept a reward for something that is only my duty anyhow.
We gonna stand around here all day snapping at flies? Back to the courthouse, Brownie. As for you, Mr. Dwyer, you're due at the ballpark in 5 minutes.
Brownie, I seen him again.
Saw who?
Zip White, the Oklahoma bank robber. I was showing you his picture the other day when Crowley caught me.
Oh, him.
I got Jimmy the bootblack tailing him. When I find out where he's staying, I'll let you know so you can be there when Sneed puts the pinch on.
Gallegher, is this another bright idea like the one that almost got me killed along with Dan the Dip?
This is even better.
Gallegher, almost getting killed is bad enough, but almost getting fired is worse. Because when you're still alive, you can feel hunger and misery. Are you following me?
You're trying to tell me you don't believe me, is that it?
On the contrary, it's because I believe you.
And you don't want this lead?
I didn't say that. All I said was that I don't want to have anything to do with Mr. Zip Wyatt until he is behind bars or dead.
I'm gonna have to do this by myself? Just me and Mr. Sneed?
I'm afraid so.
Afraid is right. Cops afraid to make arrests, reporters afraid to follow leads. Boy, what's the matter with your generation?
I only get sentimental in spasms. The spasm has now passed. Look busy. Gallagher's been in jail all night for armed robbery.
He's what?
They can't do that to an employee of this newspaper. I'm getting him out.
Now, calm down, Gallegher. Calm down.
We'll talk some sense into it.
We'll get you out.
Never you fear.
Now, look, I got a right to be sore. That kid's always getting me in the paper and hot water.
But he does come up with headline stories now and then.
Bah. Remember how we found that bank embezzler?
Sheer luck.
How about the inside story on the police scandal?
Yeah. We doubled circulation for a week.
Better look before you leap, Mr. Crowley. You could be throwing out the treasure with the trash.
Why, there's even a story in this kid being arrested.
Can't you just see the headlines in the rival papers? Daily press, copy boy thrown to the wolves?
That's enough, Mr. Dwyer. You've made your point. Feeney, let's a gang of criminals steal $25,000 worth of uncut, unreleased, freshly printed banknotes right out from under his very nose. Brings a poor, innocent little boy in here at gunpoint, and you ask me if he's done anything wrong? Well, don't just stand there like a second Feeney. Turn that lad loose before the captain comes out here and fires all of it.
Oh, Sergeant!
My time on such frivolity. Brownie,
Yes, boss?
how come you gave Gallegher your pass?
Oh, like he said, he's been working overtime. He earned it, and I didn't need it.
You didn't.
I saw Sir Richard massacre Hamlet in New York last year. Once was enough to know how greatly doth Sir Richard stink.
What are you talking about, Stink? He was great.
Do you mean to tell me that we printed your review of Hamlet and you didn't even see it?
But, boss, I told you.
And I heard you. But do you realize what this could do to the daily press if it got out?
I'm telling you, it was a great show. People were crying and clapping.
Gallagher, you keep out of this. Do I gather that you gave Sir Richard a bad review?
Didn't you read it?
No, I didn't. I couldn't spare the time.
Oh, boss, that's too bad. You know, I kind of felt that I laid the groundwork for a whole new school of criticism.
Who is Mr. Brown? Are you Mr. Brown? Are you the wretch that wrote this illiterate misrepresentation of my performance?
Well, it was nothing personal. What's the idea?
We're going to be sued, that's what.
Nothing so maudlin, sir. This is a question of honor. I demand satisfaction.
Okay, Sir Richard, let's get it over with. How much is it going to cost the paper?
His life or mine?
You, sir, have the choice of place, time, and weapons. There is my gauge. Pick it up, or be forevermore branded a coward.
What's he talking about?
He's challenging you to a duel.
A duel?
Yeah, and it won't cost the paper a penny. Here, come on, pick it up.
You mean a duel like pistols and swords?
Yeah.
Pistols or swords. One or the other will be quite sufficient.
Sir Richard. My paper is proud, pleased, and privileged to accept the challenge. What a story. Pete, did you get that? Sir Richard takes umbrage to review of Hamlet. I want this on page 1. Quote, noted Shakespearean actor challenges daily press journalist to a duel to the death. Sir Richard, my paper stands behind its employees to the death. We fight for the right to speak the truth as we see it. We fight to the last ditch for the freedom of the press of all the great newspapers of America.
Bravo, sir. Noble sentiments. And if I may say so, nobly expressed. As for you, Mr. Brown, if you pretend to be a man, make the place nearby, the time of the earliest, and the weapon of the deadliest. Gentlemen.
Now I'm warning you, Crowley. Any more headlines like this one, we'll be swearing out warrants.
Since when is it illegal to publish the news?
Don't try to confuse me, Crowley. Duty's against the law. It's unlawful murder, and you know it.
Murder?
That's right, murder.
He who intimidates or threatens any member of my staff intimidates or threatens me. I am the Daily Press, and I am rising to this challenge.
Oh, I should have known it. You're up to your old tricks to sell newspapers. This whole thing is a farce.
Did you hear that, boss? He's got a good idea.
This is no trick or farce, Lieutenant. On the other hand, there is no crime until the crime has been committed. Until then, I stand on my civic rights and ask you to observe our privacy.
All right, Crowley, you made your point and I made mine. Just don't let it go too far, will you?
Buy a paper every day, Lieutenant, and be sure to tell your friends, huh? You know something, Brownie? If you stay alive till Christmas, I might just get you a bonus.
Alive? Look, boss, let's not let
Later, Brownie, later. I'm busy writing the greatest real-life drama that ever hit this town. Hamlet will be a pale and pallid piece compared to this. Gallegher?
Yeah, boss?
Stand by to deliver this to Sir Richard at the Bijou.
Yes, sir.
Brownie?
Yes, boss.
You can relax now. I have talked Sir Richard into sparing your life.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that windbag couldn't go through with it. No wonder his Hamlet is pale and putrid. Oh, that a once so noble art has sunk so low. Gosh, I feel all inspired again.
Brownie, you didn't let me finish. I have talked Sir Richard into sparing your life, but only for the moment. The duel is by no means off. Pete. Come on, we'll compose it, sir. Brownie!
Yeah, boss?
I've set a date for the duel.
Oh, come on, boss. I thought we had that settled. It's against the law, remember?
Don't worry. I'll time it so the cops will move in and stop the fight just as you cross your swords.
Do we have to time it that close?
Sure, and we'll do it Sunday morning.
Why Sunday?
Well, in case the cops are late, we won't lose you on company time.
Brownie. Hey, Brownie, did you ever have to do a story that if you did it, it brought ruination to somebody?
Need you ask? I'm doing it right now, to my own miserable self.
No, I'm serious.
So am I.
Is it always a reporter's duty to get the story? No matter who it hurts?
Hey, if I told you once, I told you 100 times. Just don't grow up and you'll never get involved with women.
How'd you know it was a woman?
If it was a man, you wouldn't be asking. You'd figure you should have had more sense.
But it's different with a woman, huh?
Sometimes, not always.
Wins sometimes and wins not always.
Hey, supposing you tell me the problem.
No, I can't.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
No, not with a story. Anyways, not this story.
All right. I'll give you one rule that I learned a long time ago. When in doubt, don't do anything. Does that help?
Yeah, thanks.
Don't thank me yet. When I was your age, I got the same advice, and you can see what it's done for me.
Well, have a seat, Mr. Van Rolls. Have a seat. Now, Brownie!
Yes, boss.
Scrap what you're doing. I got a new angle on the duel. We're starting a war on hypocrisy.
What about the opera?
What about it?
I'm supposed to cover it tonight, Il Trovatore.
Good. Instead of sleeping through the performance, you can be working up some new ideas. Pete.
Right now, just one more time.
Boss, get me out of here. I'm innocent.
Boss, I was covering the opera opening. Remember? It was Il Trovatore.
Easy does it, Brownie. The Daily Press retains the finest law firm in the country. We'll fight for you all the way.
Oh, thanks, boss. I knew I could depend on you.
Where did you pick him up?
At the opera, just where you said he'd be.
Just where you...
What? Please, Lieutenant, it might interest you to know that Gallegher here claims that he knows who the murderer is.
I didn't say that. All I said was that Brownie's not the murderer. I was there when it happened, and the man I saw wasn't Brownie.
No?
No, sir, and I'm sure. Because he was wearing a cape like Brownie's, and he bumped into me when he was running, and I tore the frog off. See, Brownie still got his on, so it couldn't have been him.
Well, who was this alleged guy that you saw?
I don't know. I didn't see his face.
Well, if you didn't see his face, it could have been him, couldn't it?
No, sir. This guy runs and moves different, and he's built different.
No, that's a pretty flimsy story, don't you think?
Well, I must say it doesn't improve with the telling.
I checked out everybody backstage, and that's the only guy that's got a motive.
But I wasn't even there.
Be quiet, Brownie, please. I'm paying lawyers to do the talking, not you.
Oh, boy. An open and shut case if I ever saw one. And thanks to you and your newspaper, we got an airtight motive. Lock 'em up. Hold 'em for the grand jury.
Courage, Brownie. Courage, my man. The Daily Press is with you all the way. Right up to the gallows, if need be. Well, admission of a new state somewhere out in the Wild West won't sell newspapers. Circulation's off 5% in the last month. If it goes to 6, some of you guys are going to be looking for jobs. So it's up to you. What we need is news. Local news. Headlines.
Boss, I don't make the news. I just report it. And there's nothing going on.
Oh, there's always something going on.
Like what? I tell you, crime has hit a new low. There hasn't even been one routine murder in over a week.
Well, don't sit there and whine. Do something about it.
I should commit murder?
Nonsense. You haven't got the gumption. That's the trouble with the help these days. Gallegher, come here. Listen, you still want to be a reporter, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, if Brownie here doesn't come up with a headline yarn by midnight that sells newspapers, you take over his desk in the morning. Gallegher, are you listening to me?
Watch your language, boss. Lady present.
Yeah, I'm sure. Have a seat, won't you?
Thank you.
Right there will be fine. Thank you. Well, you have a story for the Daily Press, I presume?
Not a story, Mr. Crowley. I have a lot of stories, but that depends.
Oh, really? Depends.
Employment.
Miss Jones,
Brownie, what happened to you?
Wait till it starts on you, laughing boy. The last and longest laugh might still be mine.
You, in here. I want all the floors mopped and polished. I want the brassware shined. I want the chandeliers sparkling. I don't want to find one cobweb or one speck of dust. Now, time is precious. So let's get busy.
Beginning to see what I mean?
This is no time for idle chatter, Mr. Brown. Now get to work, both of you.
Okay.
I beg your pardon, Charles.
I mean, yes, miss. With pleasure, miss.
That's much better. You must get in the habit of using correct address. One slip at the wrong moment could be disastrous.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss. No, miss.
Boy, she got you jumping to the hoop.
I'm not doing it for her. I'm doing it for the paper. Let's get busy on that chandelier.
You're doing what for the paper?
Setting up this trap. And you start polishing this brass.
Setting up this what?
Trap. We're going to catch us some swindlers.
Oh. Is this her house?
No. She borrowed it off some lady friend of hers who was in Europe.
I don't get it.
Didn't the boss explain?
All he said was I'm bait or something.
That's right. You and Adeline. You're supposed to be your little brother.
Me? Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And your father just died and left you his fortune.
No kidding.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're kidding, but for real. And as soon as your father's death notice hits the paper, the con men will come calling. We hope.
Calling for what?
To steal your fortune. What else?
Yeah, but how?
By selling you phony investments, bogus mining stocks, stuff like that, see?
Oh, and this joint's supposed to be a front, like a bunco store in reverse.
Right.
And to make it look real, you're supposed to be our butler.
Righto, Governor.
Then that does it. If I have a butler, why am I doing menial chores? I quit.
Very funny. Come on, get back to work.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm a rich kid. No butler can order me around.
Now, let's not carry this thing too far, chum, or I'm liable to forget myself and give you a spanking. Back to work.
Come on, Brownie. Now, this is no work for newspapermen. Especially what you're doing.
You're right. There's a limit.
Yeah. This is women's work. She ought to be doing this herself.
Sure. Undignified work for men, Adeline. Besides, the place looks pretty good, don't you think, Gallegher?
Looks clean enough to me.
Evidently, I did not make myself clear. I shall repeat it. This goes for you too, young man. The work I am doing has Mr. Crowley's full approval. He backs my play to the limit. Now, if you refuse to cooperate, or you lack the intelligence or the initiative to do the job, I have complete authority from the daily press to fire you and bring in another team. Need I say more? That's better. Well, the paper is on the streets already with the item that can bring the con man calling today.
Well, how's it look?
Just fine. You both should be commended. I put a roast in the oven in case you've worked up an appetite. Meanwhile, Master Gallegher, I have a very pleasant surprise for you. Would you like to try it on now?
What is it?
Well, I can't very well have my brother dressed like that. It's the wrong side of the tracks. Better not waste any time. We may have to do some alterations.
Oh, no. No, you won't get me into this. I'll do most anything for the daily press, but here's where I draw the line.
Turn around. You're funnier than the dad! Did you hear me? I said that'll do. Enough is enough. Now, what are you doing? You put that down.
Get out of my way.
I said to put that down.
I'll put it down right on his head.
You don't dare.
Come out from behind those skirts, Brian. Fight like a man.
There's somebody at the door. Here, take this. What am I doing? You're the butler. You answer it. Wait a minute. Whoever it is, find out the nature of his business and then tell him I'm resting.
Why?
Never mind why. Just do as I say.
Yes, miss.
Put that back where it belongs. And remember to watch your manners. Don't speak unless you're spoken to.
You still got your apron on.
Yes? Chauncey Talbot, Esquire, Insurance and Investments. I would like to see Miss Rushton, if I may.
Would you please state the nature of this call, sir?
I'm an old friend of Miss Rushton's father.
I see. Well, milady happens to be resting at the moment, sir, but I shall...
Charles,
Yes, miss?
did I hear the bell?
Yes, miss. It's, Mr. Chauncey Talbot, miss.
Whom?
Chauncey Talbot, Miss Rushton. I'm a dear friend of your father.
Oh. I see.
May I tender my deepest sympathy, Miss Rushton?
Thank you. Won't you come in? Charles? Charles?
Oh.
Mr. Talbot's hat.
Oh, yes, miss. Of course, miss.
Of unfinished business, you know.
No, I didn't know.
What a pity that gentlewomen such as yourself are left so helpless in these matters.
Oh, my father did not consider me as helpless as you may think, sir. Charles?
I'm sure we shall get along handsomely together.
I'm sure we shall.
You're both very brave.
Hey, what do you know? It worked.
We're on our way, but there's still rough seas ahead.
Hey, sounded like a pretty nice fella.
Don't let him fool you. That's why those con men are so dangerous. And what now?
You go down to the office and tell Mr. Crowley that we've made contact, and I'll be needing that $5,000.
5,000?
He knows all about it. It's part of the plan.
I didn't hear that grifter ask for money.
He didn't, but he will.
And when he does, we'll be ready.
As soon as he accepts that marked money, we got him.
From now on, you may be followed. You're going to need a reason to go to town. It's time for your music lesson.
Music lesson? I thought it was time for supper.
It'll be ready when you get back.
There's no violin.
You won't need it. Now, this is what you're going to do if you're followed. We know they're crooks. Well, all they have to do is accept that $5,000 from me in marked money, and we've got them. Dead to rights. What a stubborn man.
The boss does have a point, Addie.
You.
Me?
I know a way you can do it.
Do what?
Well, I can't go back to that office without the $5,000, but you can.
Why?
Mr. Crowley wants evidence. Evidence he will get. Books, files, phony stocks, everything.
But how? How do I do that?
It's so simple, it's beautiful.
Whoosh! I sure get hungry long about this time of day. How does a nice, big, thick roast beef sandwich and a stein of beer that high sound to you fellas, huh?
How about it, Talbot? This guy's making me hungry.
Might as well.
You've been massaging the inside of that window for half an hour. It's the outside that's dirty.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just about to do that little thing, Governor. Just about to do it. Right now. I tell you, there's nothing like the great outdoors to give a man an appetite. Whoosh!
Well, are you coming?
Remove that ridiculous hat. The business office is no place for sporting attire.
What happened? I ran all the way.
Did you get in a fight?
But I saved the money. But you better hurry up because the jig's up.
Poor dearie's in a state of shock.
No, I'm not. Just out of breath.
Well, come in and sit down.
Did you say the jig's up?
I think so. The shadow must have heard.
The shadow?
Yeah, that guy that's been following me. Well, he's there today when I come out of the music school. And he must have heard when the Red Devils jumped me.
Red what?
The Red Devils. They're a West End gang. I used to belong to Blue Diamonds on the East End.
Blue who?
Never mind about that. What did the shadow hear?
Well, I'm not sure. But he must have heard when Yats is Red Devil's leader. He must have heard him yell, "Hey, that ain't no sissy. That's Gallegher." Well, this shadow must be getting suspicious, because he tries to grab the violin case away from the White Wings when the fight's on, you see? Well, the whole point is, the shadow must be onto me. And if he's onto me, then he must be onto you guys. And if he's onto you guys, then the jig's up. See?
The boy is 100% right. The jig, like he says, is indeed up. All right, over on the couch, the three of you. It must be a real valuable instrument you have in there, the way you hang on to it.
Habit, I guess.
Suppose you open up the case and we take a look, huh?
Well, it's just a cheap old fiddle. You don't think I'd be running around with a real Stratohoosits, do you?
Well, I don't know now. Rich, clever, cultured folks like you? Well, for you folks to know that Mr. Talbot is closing out our business store because it's time for us to shake this town. The only hitch we got left is what to do with the three of you. The con men like Talbot got a reluctance about murder on account of it attracts too much attention. Take me now, I'm different. I got no reluctance along them lines at all. As long as I make things come out nice and clean.
Come off it, Bill. Come off it.
So, supposing we get back to where we was before the subject got changed, and supposing you open up the violin case, huh?
Do as he says, Gallegher.
It's the principle of the thing.
For heaven's sake, this is no time to think of principles. Open it.
Okay. But only because the boss says you're the boss.
Well, what do you know? Money! You're the accountant. Count it. And all...
Hold it! Right where you are. All right, on your feet. Come along with you now. Nice work, Gallegher. All right, move along.
Not me, him.
You know, you could have got a shot.
I guess I wasn't thinking.
We just arrested Talbot. Caught him red-handed. Or green-handed, that is. He was clearing out the place.
Ready to skip town. Clever bunch of bunco boys we nabbed there. Yes, sir. All I needed to convince the police was that evidence you brought me. By the way, how are you fellows?
Fine, thank you.
Good, good. Well, social hour's over. Back to work. Come on, back to work. Can't sit around here all day, you know. Come on, back to work. Pete, headline for the Sunset Extra.
Mr. Crowley.
Take this down, Pete.
Yes, Governor.
Mr. Crowley.
Miss Jones, nobody interrupts my mental thinking.
All I want to know is, am I on steady or am I not?
Got any more ideas?
Loads.
I'll try it for another 6 weeks. Fair enough?
If I'm still here in another 6 weeks, you better find yourself another desk, because I intend to be sitting right there.
That's the spirit, huh? Now, where was I? The headline. Oh, yes.
Oh, no. The money, the $5,000. We left it in the house.
Forget it. I'm sending a porter over there to clean up the place. I'll have him burn it.
Burn it?
Sure, it was counterfeit. I got it from the cops to trap the grifters.
Do you know what I went through getting that past enemy lines? I practically gave my life.
One thing you gotta understand, my boy, it's not the money that matters, it's the principle. Now, no more interruptions, please. I've got newspapers to sell, headlines to write. Pete.
Yes, Governor.
Take this down. Quote, fearless editor traps ruthless swindlers. Unquote. What did you tangle with? The explosion?
Worse, the mayor's office.
His hooligans did that? You go right back there and tell them they can't do that to me. Nobody browbeats Jefferson Crowley. Wait a minute. How come?
How come what?
Well, how come they beat you up?
They caught me in the mayor's outer office.
Outer office?
Yeah, I was peeking through the keyhole into the inner office.
Good, good. What did you see?
I saw Charlie Martis. He was in there with the mayor.
Yeah. And what were they talking about?
Talking about the gas explosions.
Brownie, if you're lying to me...
Gospel, boss. The mayor was saying that they better stop those sewer lids from flying around town or they're in big trouble.
And what did Martis say to that?
I don't know. That's when I got caught. It's got to mean something, boss. Didn't the mayor campaign on the gas issue?
You're right. Brownie!
Yeah, boss?
What is the function of journalism?
To raise cane and sell newspapers.
Correct. You win the prize. A beefsteak at Clancy's and a new hat. Put it on my tab. But hurry back. You've got to help me raise some cane.
Must be Adeline's pigeon. I'll go see.
Never mind. Pete's standing by up there. Come here. I've been going through these files, and my hunch was right. Charlie Martis was awarded a gaslight contract on a secret bid.
Yeah? How about this for an angle? Ward Healer gets paid off for delivering the votes.
What's that got to do with explosions?
I don't know. I thought you did.
It's from Eddie. That explosion came from a faulty valve in the gas line.
Faulty valves, huh? Thousands of dollars in somebody's pocket because they use cast iron instead of brass. I tell you, Brownie, when it comes to graft, Crowley's got a nose like a bloodhound. Take this down. Headline, City in dire peril. Subhead, are Martis and Mayor responsible? Tell them about the faulty valves. Hint strongly at greed and graft. Draw parallels between the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Pompeii and Babylon. That's the ticket, Brownie. If the explosions don't wake him up, we will. Pete, we beat the deadline again. Brownie.
Yeah, boss?
The plot thickens. You know that shindig that Martis is throwing Sunday?
Yeah?
Well, that's to celebrate his getting the contract to build a new library.
Yeah?
Well, don't you get it? Martis builds the gaslight contract into a fortune, and now he gets the city's biggest building plum. More grist for your mill.
Yeah.
Pete,
Yes, Governor.
work up a biography on Martis. Rags to riches, influence to affluence, overalls to striped trousers. Huh? What? Charlie Martis. You know, we were just talking about you, Charlie.
What about this?
Oh, careful now. Let's not lose our temper.
What about it?
Brownie, throw him out.
Now look, Charlie.
How dare you, sir? He who strikes the least of my employees strikes me.
Let him have it, boss. Belt him a good one.
Keep out of this, Gallegher. Come no closer, or I'll tear you limb from limb. I'll sue you for assault. Careful now, or I'll lose my temper. This is a gross infringement of my civic rights.
How do you plead, Crowley?
In behalf of my client, I would like
Not
to say...
guilty, of course. I told you you've got the wrong man. Brownie, I want you to take down every word of this miscarriage of illegal justice. I want it on the front page.
Mr. Crowley.
I will serve out my time behind prison bars.
But Mr. Crowley.
Don't interrupt me with the law.
You are also being...
Political chicanery of this town. Brownie, are you getting this down?
Oh, yes, boss.
The daily press will not be intimidated. Justice will prevail. Truth will out. This fair city shall not disappear from the face of the earth in a flaming holocaust of sewer gas.
Proof. Evidence. I don't want to panic you guys, but the boss is getting out of jail. And you better have some before he gets here and fires us.
Now look, one more crack out of you.
Where's Mr. Crowley? Didn't you bail him out?
No, I did not bail him out. The mayor's made sure that no one is available to sign his release. They've closed every legal door. Oh, what a day.
Well, what do we do now?
Publish a retraction.
A what?
It's a public apology. He admits that he's wrong, and we just call off this whole silly trial.
Did Mr. Crowley tell you he wants us to do that?
Well, not in so many words, but it is the only sensible thing to do, isn't it?
Sensible.
Sensible? He'd kill us.
Well, you'll be killed anyway. See, if we go to court on Monday without a case, we're going to lose, and the damages will be so high that he'll have to sell this newspaper to pay up, and you'll be without your jobs.
What kind of evidence do you need for the case?
Record.
Wait a minute. How do you know that Charlie's got evidence like that in his house?
He used to be a client of mine, that's why. I know his habits. He keeps everything in the file in the study on the second floor. Now, just a minute. That's out. It's absolutely unthinkable. I've got enough trouble. I'm not going to defend you people for breaking and entering. Crowley's public apology is the only answer, and I expect to see it in the morning paper. That's my final word. Good day, gentlemen. And lady.
Whose side is he on, anyway?
Well, how about it?
Well, you heard him. It's unthinkable.
Unthinkable? When I went to all that expense of buying a brand new hat for a very special occasion?
Addie, you're wonderful.
Hey, let me in on this, huh?
Don't you worry. Before we're through, you're going to be hollering for somebody to let you out. I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to...
Oh, it's about time.
Maybe it's from Gallegher.
Hey, it's from the boss. It says, Brownie, get down here right now, bring gun.
Bring what?
Gun. G-U-N.
Oh, what's he want a gun for?
I don't know. Hey, maybe he wants to kill himself. Well, that's what the boss wants. That's what the boss gets.
Hey, wait a minute. Must be something big.
A lot of them.
The whole coop.
Nothing.
Same here.
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing.
I don't get it.
Me neither.
Well, you figure it out. I gotta find the gun.
Hello.
Never mind the brilliant conversation. Did you bring what I asked for?
Yeah, boss.
Well, don't just stand there. Use it.
On you, boss?
Not on me, you numbskull. On him. And hurry up.
Okay. Up with your hands.
No, down with your hands. And open up.
Down with your hands.
Come on. Hurry up. I have no time.
Come on.
That's my good man. You may have the use of my office, sir. Where are Addie and Gallegher?
Oh, they're at Martis's reception. But a strange thing, boss. All of Gallagher's pigeons came home at once, but there was no messages. What do you make of that?
That means they're in trouble. That's what that means, and we shall not let them down.
Hey, that's right. It's an SOS.
Don't point that thing at me. Let's get rid of it. Don't you remember? The Daily Press ran a crusade last year against carrying concealed weapons. Come on. Browbeat my reporters, will they? We'll see about this. And you stay out of this, you understand? I'm going to handle this my own way.
Addie saved the day, Mr. Crowley. She got all the evidence you...
In case anyone has any doubts, just bear this and Mayor Diffendagger. That's no...
Police! Up here, this way! Hurry!
All right, Martis. Over here.
What kind of a man are you, Brownie? Every time there's trouble around here, you're hiding under a desk.